little faster, Max.
Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max of Max's Models here. And today I was working on videos and decided to take a break and work on the Godzilla -1 from Aoshima. I got this from Monsters in Motion during my recent California trip. And I figured, well, it's a perfect time to let's do a kit review. So I took out the instruction sheet and went through it. And for the most part, it is pretty straightforward, fairly easy to understand, well printed. There was a little bit of confusion over the back plate map, but take your time and go slow, and I would recommend marking off the numbers of the back plates on the instruction sheet as you get them in place. I got everything lined up on the racks and decided, okay, time to start taking some pictures of the runner trees. So then it started off with the torso section, leg sections, tail sections. One nice thing is a lot of this kit, you build the parts on that one runner tree before you move to the next thing. That's not for the whole kit, but probably the first half of it. And the parts fit beautifully. The moldings are excellent. Now, this kit's only 5.5 inches tall and about 8 inches long. But once you start putting things together, you realize that's a pretty snug little fit, great detail. There are guides in the back plate to show you which way the things go in, but you want to get that arranged ahead of time because they're kind of subtle, but they do have little keys on them to show you which way it's supposed to go. And it is pretty easy to mix up which dorsal plate goes where, so take your time, go slow. So I took some photos at each stage, and some of the areas, it's going to take a fair amount of glue to make a bond because they're just so big, and the guides don't always brush up that tight. You really need it around the seams. But as you build it up, get the legs attached to the lower torso, and it'll stand up on its own. It's pretty well set up so the major components can only go in one way. You're not going to get anything mixed up or get it in backwards. When you start putting the head together, the only real fit issue I had was with the jawline. Just getting it to close up, I didn't want to really use any putty on this. And being that it's just going to be sitting on the shelf, I'm not going to. But if you want to make a showstopper, you're probably going to need a little bit of putty in a few areas, but not much. And it's molded in this brown, which matches a lot of the pictures of the creature. So it's really not something that you have to paint. I mean, if a kid was to build it, put it on a shelf, it's going to look fine. I touched up the face and did a few other things. And my wife thought it looked good like that. Just leave it like that. It's going to look fine on the shelf. Now, one thing that's really interesting is that they give you 2 complete sets of dorsal plates. The spine plates come in both clear and identical set in regular styrene. So you can make him when he's just walking around, or you can make him when he's juicing up his power and getting ready to fire. I decided to blend the two, get a little bit of both. So the side plates, the peripheral plates are all bone, but I went ahead and used some clear blue and splotches to sort of mimic the center plates that popped up out of his back heating up. And I have no complaints with this kit. I've already told you the only little glitch I had, but just be careful to map out your back plates as you're putting them on, and a little bit of fit with the jaw. Other than that, I put a little paint on the head and face to give it a little color, but pretty much left it as is. It's a great kit. Now, it's not cheap. These things run about $75 base price, but you get a lot for your money. The kit's a little small, but given how tight my Godzilla shelf has gotten, that was a blessing. I still had to rearrange it to make room for it, but not a big deal. I, at some point, might decide to go revisit it and, touch it up, but it just looks fine on the shelf the way it is, and that's, to me, all that matters. And you can make it a couple of different ways. I got all these extra spine plates that I can use for some sort of creature kit bash or something. But either way, I give this a 2 thumbs up. And if you want to go with a little putty, a lot of this hides in the texture at any kind of distance. But if you get up close, you can see it. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to put some putty in there and tighten that up. But I just really wasn't worried about it because, remember, it's only 5.5 inches tall. I'm sure every hardcore Godzilla fan's going to have one, but it is a new mold of a top shelf Japanese kit company. So, of course, like I say, they're a little bit on the pricey side, but in my money, if you're a Godzilla fan, it's well worth it. Well, alrighty then, that does it for this morning. We have the live stream tonight at 7 p.m. East Coast time. I hope to see you guys there. I'll rerun some pictures on the outro. You take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.
Legendary Godzilla feeling insecure, cause the Toho version still endures. The Tarbis shields are set to max, cause they're heading right at me and making tracks. Both Godzillas just need to relax. It's a fight, it's a clash, scales and claws, smash and thrash. Over my shed, over my head, it's Godzilla war till one is dead. Ghost of Toho with the ghostly stare, looking down that other reptile's glare. Tail slam, jaw snap, claws thrash, fans clap, the old and new slash and tear. But my poor shed ain't got a prayer. Big scales rain, back blades